Hello everyone, welcome to the IRIS webinar. My name is Zakaria Suleiman and I will be your host today together with my colleague Pierrick Delez. Today we are going to speak about the interesting topic of automate order confirmation capture with IRISXtract, and the webinar will be around 30 minutes. Your speakers today are Walter and Jarosz, and maybe Walter, you can introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, my name is Walter. I'm working as a business developer, mainly in the area of Central Europe, but also taking care about our colleagues in Eastern Europe and more also helping our colleagues in Middle East. Jarosz, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Jarosz. I'm working in the solution team and providing solutions and customizations. And today I want to present a few things with Walter to you. Can take over.
Cool, thank you, Jarosz. Walter, can you maybe switch to the next slide? So you can ask your questions via the questions tab on the right-hand side. And there will be also a Q&A session at the end so that you can ask your questions, or your questions will be answered there. And you'll be also able to replay the webinar and download the presentation later today on our website, irisdatacapture.com/webinars. And now I would like to give the stage to Walter to start with the presentation.
Thank you again for joining our webinar, and I hope you will enjoy the next around 30 minutes with us. For those who aren't familiar with the IRIS P&T, I will give you a brief insight at the beginning. We build software, services and solutions to scan, capture data, automate processes, manage content, and transform unstructured data into ready-to-use, easy-to-archive, and easy-to-share informations. Along that mission, a few facts and numbers. We were founded a little bit more than 30 years ago, and we are about 140 plus. We are around 140 plus employees and around 50 plus developers, and are already more or less working around the globe, so reaching at least around the globe. As you can see from our profitability, we are able to invest, so we are still on our mission to invest and keep innovating. Our expertise along our mission is all around information management, what you see on the right-hand side. Starting from scanning, OCR and compression, classification, data extraction, you can read it all. All these information management techniques we invent are developed, maintained at 100% by our own intellectual property. Along all new partners, we still want to highlight a few big ones. So you see Canon, HP, Evernote, Adobe, all these companies using our technology to enhance their offer in the information management. But from the general perspective, back to the main content of today's webinar, we are following a demand of how to build a customized solution. In particular, it is about how to build an order confirmation capture solution, where we will guide you through as an example. So our first question will be to find out about the information we would like to extract out of the document when an order confirmation arrives. So let's go one step back and let's see or have a close look on the whole process and just have a look where we are. Looking on the process chart of the procure to pay process, often it is about the purchase to pay process, then you can see that the part of the process we are interested in is right after a purchase order was generated and sent to a supplier. Of course, before there is a demand and an authorization process within the company is taking place according to the company's policy, but the step right after is that the purchase order is generated. The received order confirmation is very often a crucial information, and it is to meet, for instance, quantity, price, and time for further steps to be planned within the company. Which brings me to the next slide, where we need now to focus on the needed information to be extracted out of an order confirmation document. It is about an supplier information. It's about the pricing of the ordered goods or services. It's about a confirmation of delivery date, and it's about the delivery conditions. As a next step, a general check about available business process packs or possibilities of extract should take place. So if you are aware about the offers we have within Extract, then you will recognize that there are two business process packages already available, a standard sample project. What does this mean? This means that these projects are already loaded with a lot of logic, which might already help when aiming to a customized solution. In our case, order confirmation. So looking on the already available business pack accounts payable, you will find quite a number of segments we are already trying to extract out of the standard. So we're looking for header data, we're looking for line items, and we're looking for footer data. And even more, you will find out that already within this project, we are using some master data to align our search with the information coming from the leading system. It is about master data of the creditor, which is the same as the supplier we are looking for. And it's about the data of the order where we are already searching for the most crucial matches with the order confirmation. So if you have a closer look, then you will find out the base of accounts payable is already perfect fitting, or probably only slightly to be adjusted for the needs of a customized solution in our case. When further investing, we are in our example at the point that the customization will most probably only about some additional information we need in addition to the standard of the business process pack accounts payable. It is about the delivery date, which might even already been used in accounts payable, but most probably differently. And it's about the question how to handle the delivery conditions. So when handling an implementation of order confirmation, we have to go into the two steps. At first, it's about to use and choose the available fields of the standard package of the accounts payable sample project, and in addition to create the needed table layout. This you see here at A and D. And we should try to use also the master data for the supplier information, and also here in C to use the master transaction table for all the informations you have within your leading system related to the order, because this is what we would like to check against the order confirmation. The second step, and that might be the real part of the customization, to turn the application to the needed order confirmation, are these two in our example. So we created in our example a script to handle the delivery date. What does this mean? Why are we handling a script, as there might be already informations in the table about the delivery date? Yeah, well, but if you look on order confirmation, then you have either an information about the delivery date in the header data, or you have the situation that the delivery date is even on the items already, which might even be that if you have more than one item on one table, it could be that the delivery date is not the same for all of the items. And what we have created in our sample here is that we can handle both. That the person who is sitting in front of the verify, and you will see that afterwards, can easily see that both options are easily handled. Either it is handled in the header data or in the line items. The second is that we have to create a new field, and we created a new table to be used as master data supporting the usage of delivery conditions. What does this mean? Delivery conditions are, there is some kind of a standard in every language how delivery conditions are mentioned on an order confirmation. We are trying to put all this information in one of the master data tables and help the system to find the right conditions on the document, as we're trying to match the information from the document with the master table. We are now already at the stage that I have been talking to you in general and very theoretically, what are we doing and how we are doing. And at that stage, I would like to give the microphone, the stage to Jahosh. Jahosh, please.
Okay, thank you, Walter. Well, after Walter said that for order confirmations, we have decided for an SPAP. Well, the question may be, why exactly an SPAP and why not, for example, an orders package? Well, because if you have a look at the document, the table structure and also the footer fields are more or less like on an invoice. That's why we selected an SPAP. So the first question after this decision stands is, how are you going to continue? The first step should be to think about which fields of an SPAP are you going to use and which one will be deactivated because they are not necessary for an order confirmation project. For this, the solution package accounts payable has this enable fields area. I think some of you may know it already. So within this enable fields area, you can deactivate all the fields where you say that I'm not going to need them. For example, in our case, we deactivated the company code, all the fields related to the company code, because, well, we don't need a company code for our delivery nodes. Okay, so then after you have configured all the fields which you are going to need and all the ones which you are not going to need, the next step would be to configure the ones you want to reuse. First of all, you could start with a vendor, for example, by setting up the criteria how the vendor will be recognized. You can then continue with all the data which are in the master transaction, which are somehow order related, to make sure that the open orders are be matching, that you find the order numbers and all these kind of configurations. And the next step is where it's getting more complex. That's the part where you think about, okay, what kind of data you need to adapt at least, or what is still missing, which I need to create totally new. The first one, which is the adaptation, would be in our example, the table. We advance the table in a way, like Walter explained, that we will also do the delivery date search. So we went into our table configuration and added a new column, which is the delivery date on row. And then by using a script, what we did basically is to search for all delivery dates on the whole document. And by script, we try then to map these delivery dates per row. So we will compare the geometrical information of every place where a date has been found, and we will compare it with the geometrical data of the row of the table. And if we did find anything, well, we will just put it into the delivery date field of the table row and continue with the next date of the which has been found. By doing this process, if it's in table content, it's basically been found. But if you have only a delivery date on the header, then it will stay on the header and on the header field, which is there. If you have a look at the verify, I have already prepared 2 delivery orders. Let's maybe start with the first one. Here we see we used our standard SPAP vendor search. There is no VAT number on the invoice. That's the standard SPAP behavior that you have. We found the order confirmation number. That's a search which we configured. It's basically the invoice number search, which I used here, but which I adapted by adding new keyword, by changing the keywords, changing the regular expression. But it's basically the same behavior. We used also the order number search of SPAP. We just renamed the doc type abbreviations. It's an A because it's German for Auftragsbestätigung, which means order confirmation. So that's what the abbreviation means. So if we now have a look at the table, here we see that it's also the standard SPAP rules which are being used to extract the table layout. We have also used the master transaction data with all the open order data to do the position matching here, which you see where you see all 3 positions. And as you see, there is no delivery date on the table. That's why a part of the delivery date column is empty. If there's only one delivery date appearing on the invoice, it will always appear here on the first row. But that's something where you could do a small modification of the script to make this process better, or because you have also the order date here. That's why you possibly don't need it then if it's only once also appearing here. But if you have multiple occurrences, that's our second example we'll come to later, then the mapping will be handled here. We will also have all the footer fields, which is basically standard SPAP functionality, where we did change nothing. Okay, so now let's come to a new point. What else did we add? We added the delivery terms, which Walter mentioned. It's the Incoterms, which I mentioned here. In this example, we don't have an Incoterm, but let me switch for this to the second one. In that one, we have delivery terms. So what kind of search is this? It's basically I have 2 fields here. In one table, I will search for all Incoterm keywords, which are, as Walter explained, globally known. There's a table where you can get them all from, and basically search for all of these. And then on the second step, I will just grab, for Incoterms 2, I will just grab the string which is right to it. So I will start with this keyword and grab the string on the right side of this keyword, and that's basically the Incoterms which you will need. So what else do we have here on the second example? Basically the same. We have an order number confirmation, an order confirmation number. Sorry, we have the original order number where this is related to. Then we have here the positions, but this time with 2 different delivery dates. You see on both positions there's a delivery date, and it's also been mapped by the script which we wrote. Well, and basically the footer fields are also available. Now, if we hop into the solution designer, let's just have a short look at the Incoterm table, because that's something new which we added here. Is it? There it is. So we have the codes which we are searching for. and the meaning of them in German or in English, but basically we're using this column here, first one. Okay. That's basically all which we did. There are a couple of things which could be improved, but that's something you can you want to talk about, Walter, when do you want to take over?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Jahosh, for presenting the insights of our example. And many thanks that I'm getting the microphone back, as at the end of my part, I would like to mention about further possibilities for improvement. And I have here on the next slide just an example. What could be done if you would like even to make a further improve on that example, what I have. So there is one topic, as an example, you could create a solution for the demand that a delivery date is sometimes, at least we have that in the German-speaking countries, not a proper date, but just stated as a calendar week using a short form. So in German, it is then KW and just a number behind of that. So if you would like also to find these kind of informations on your order confirmation, you probably think about the possibility to create an additional table to transfer the information on the document, which is then calendar week something, to a proper date format. You can even think one step further and saying, when I have the calendar week, then I will get as standard information in my verify the Monday of this calendar week, but probably you have a table behind that the user can switch then to, for instance, saying, oh no, I would like to have it on Wednesday or Friday. So this is just an example how to further improve an implementation of a customization for order confirmation. In B here, it is just about, if you have more IDs, just please use the tools of the platform and the tools of the business process packages for further improvement. It's always depending on what the customer would like. And our goal today was that we are just taking an example, taking what we already have, using all what we have, and just customize the things, because the platform will give you quite a number of possibilities to work on that. So I'm now already at the end of the presentation related to the customization to create an order confirmation. And I think the next step is now to you, Zakaria or Pierik, to follow up.
Yes, thank you, Walter and Jahosh. We've got a few questions. First question from Benjamin. What happens if you don't have a correct delivery date?
Jahosh? Well, that question Walter basically tried to explain after this question was asked. Yeah. That at the moment in the example I showed you, this one will not be able to work, but I think it will be possible to expand this by script, that you implement these kind of data to be also found, that you define somehow by a rule that, for example, in week 21 or whatever, in week 50 of year 21, that the Wednesday will be the day which needs to be used, because date fields in our system need to have a specific day. So if you agree, if you have a rule which decides for week 50, you always select the Wednesday, for an example, well, then that can be solved by script.
Okay, thank you. Another question from Andreas. Normally, the article numbers differ between order and order confirmation. What do we do?
Yeah, because the order number here, which you saw in the example, is coming from the master data and it's not coming from the invoice itself. So you could try to extract the article number by describing building rules for like regular expressions or something like this, or you can try to well, in the first step, somehow to gather these kind of data, add them into your own ERP systems to gather also the customer article numbers and not your own ones. And after you have them in your system, then switch the search from, for example, regular expression or something back to the master data file, and then it will also increase the quality of the extracted article numbers.
Okay, thanks a lot. Another question. That question was asked before your demo, Janusz. What if my client can provide the Incoterms and shipping date with the master data? Most of the time it is agreed contractually and it is available in the ERP.
Yeah, well, if you have them already in your on your master data, then it's not required to search for these Incoterms anymore. What I've showed you is that you are just searching for them if they are printed on the invoice. If you have them by master data, after the vendor has been found, then you can just load them and put them on the verified. It's much easier than search for them, to be honest. So that's also something which you could implement and improve the quality by script. By, if you have found the vendor, just search inside of your own master data. If there is some Incoterms or shipping dates which have been already agreed on, if yes, use them. Probably search for them on the invoice, compare, or just ignore whatever is written on the sorry, not invoice but order confirmation, and use the ones from your master. But that's on you. That's the customization part, which is coming on top of the SPAP handling.
Okay, very clear. Question from Rob. What do you mean by customization with the tools of the platform versus the tools of the BP packages?
So I guess it's not versus the tool. The tool of the customization is that, of course, at first it's about all the possibilities we have in Xtract related to our search strategies the system is providing to you. All are based on the free text extraction. And furthermore, of course, it's about the scripting environment in .NET and with all the available libraries. I hope this answers the question.
Okay, thank you. Question from Julien. Is there a possibility to get some help from IRIS when it comes to more complex customizations?
Yes, of course. We have quite a big team of people doing exactly that, as either they build a custom solution application and then transfer it to our partners or to the project of our partners, or you have the possibility that these people, this big team, are coaching you to make a customization together and make it most efficient. We fully understand that, and we really try to always invite people to go this way, because especially these colleagues like Janusz and the whole team around Janusz, that is what they are doing the whole day. So they have always a good idea which way you should find. You know, there are quite a number of ways to come to Rome. So, and that is why please use the guys for coaching, or even let them, if you're saying that is something which I only would like to have afterwards, as I would like to make the first level support, then a team member can build it for you and describe it for you, and you then you will know what he has done. Or make it the other way around. The people are helping you and you are doing together this kind of customization. Whatever you need, it's all possible, but that's the aim of our big team where Janusz is part of.
Okay, thank you, Walter. Thank you, Janusz. We are going to leave it there for the questions. For the questions that have not been answered yet, we will answer them directly offline. And thank you. Back to you, Zakaria.
So I guess there is one slide more, Zakaria.
Yes, so thank you all for attending this webinar. It's just a reminder that you can also replay the webinar later today on our website. And don't forget to check out our past webinars on irisdatacapture.com/webinars/past. And of course, we will publish some webinars soon for you. So thank you all for your participation. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.